The National Marriage Project had released a report indicating that people are getting married later in life. For the average age for women, it's about 27 years old, and for men, it's 29 years old. And of course, conservatives are really, really concerned about this because the only reason why we're here is to procreate. But the reality is people haven't stopped procreating, they're just having kids out of wedlock. Well, this is something that's worrying someone by the name of Andrew Reiner. He is a professor at Towson University, and he recently wrote an op-ed talking about how we have stopped connecting with one another. We're now focused on the hookup culture, at least that's what he's noticing on his college campus, and we're not really prioritizing the importance of marriage. So in his piece, he writes the following. Their romance operandi, referring to his students, hooking up and hanging out, flouts the golden rule of what makes marriage and love work: emotional vulnerability.
No, I think they're vulnerable. A lot of them afterwards regret it.
Do they?
Do they? I don't know. I think, look, a lot of people want to be tough guys, not just the women, but the guys as well. Like, oh, I don't care. Yeah, right, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. But I've seen the toughest guys also be like, oh, why didn't you call back?
No way. Really?
Yes.
No, I don't believe
happens.
It. No.
Look, from a woman's perspective, you think that never happens, but it does, okay? Mm-hmm. Does it happen more in the case of women? My guess is yes, right? So a lot of them now are like, oh, no big deal, we just hooked up. And a lot of that is true. And some of it isn't.
I just love how he thinks the hookup culture is like a new thing.
Yeah,
like, you know, like back in the day, you know, you were 15 and you were ready to get married. You wanted that, like, you know, stable relationship. But no, hookup culture always existed. So.
And back then they got married because they wanted to hook up. That was the whole reason they got married in the first place, right? It's not because they wanted to feel emotional vulnerability. Okay, it's because they were horny teenagers.
Yeah.
Okay, and by the way, I love this. This is all wrong. When he grew up, probably in the 1970s, you know, around probably where I grew up, 70s, 80s, they used to have these things called key parties, where you would go and you put your key in a bowl, and then somebody else's wife would pick it up, and you trade each other's wives and have sex with them. You see how we've become morally corrupt?
But those weren't, I mean, there were always like swingers. Obviously we have swingers now, but it wasn't like widespread. Like it wasn't like an...
It's a cultural thing that people refer to.
Right.
I don't know how widespread it was, but like the movies make it out seem like every other neighborhood was doing it.
That's insane.
No, of course they were.
No,
right?
Like,
but I'm just saying people have had wild sex throughout because we're human beings.
I know, but the concept of a key party is insane. I don't think that I would sign up for that.
Of course. Who's like, oh, yeah, Bob, you want to take my wife? Go, have at it, Hoss.
No, but you don't know what you're going to get. It's like a box of chocolates, right?
Well, that's part of the issue there, right? Right.
Oh,
and depends on how hot their wives are.
Yeah.
Anyway.
He says we further desensitize ourselves to love when we stifle the bonding feelings that spring forth from oxytocin. The love hormone is released during orgasm, but it also floods the body and brain after hugging or affectionate touching. Yet we deny such molecular reactions at great peril, according to Dr. Dean Ornish, founder of the nonprofit Preventative Medicine Research Institute and author of Love and Survival, the scientific basis for the healing power of intimacy. So he's basically saying, like, look, you'll get those feel-good chemicals if you just cuddle. Like, you don't have to go out and have sex. Why are you concerned about this? But first of all, can I just say something? I got my taxes done today. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Obviously related to this story.
No, it is related to this story.
Okay.
So this guy is obviously obsessed with marriage. Like, people need to get married. Why are you not getting married? Get married, right? And it's like, look, everyone has like their family members that are pressuring them to get married. Like, get off everyone's balls and live your life, okay? Because it's not going to affect your life whether or not your students get married. But like our tax code. Okay, so you're in a dual income household, and you deserve a tax break. That's the case, right? But if you're single and you're independent and you're relying on yourself to pay your bills, oh no, fuck you, you're not getting a tax break. Why is that? I hate how our country is like, get married, everyone, get married.
I'm already married, get off my ass.
It drives me crazy.
Well, you know why? Because when you get married, you realize that there's some downsides. And at least we should get a goddamn tax break.
Oh, God.
All right, now I'm kidding. So that's a complicated issue. But listen, in this guy's case, I know he wants all of us to bow down to Dr. Ornish and his principles. But again, a revolutionary thought. You know what you could do? You could cuddle before and after sex.
Even if it's a casual encounter.
Yeah, you don't have to, like, I've never not cuddled. I mean, like, so I don't know why he thinks those two things are mutually exclusive. Yeah, I'll get both kinds of oxytocin.
Mm-hmm.
killing this story. Both during the sex and after the sex. Mission accomplished.
Yeah. Look, my whole point about this story is people should just get off everyone else's ass about what they're doing with their personal lives. Or balls, whatever. Like, if people don't want to get married, and if they're getting married later in life, there are actually more benefits than downsides to that, right? You're more established in your career, you're financially independent, and those are good things. It's not terrible. Are some people having children out of wedlock? Yeah. I mean, the number or that percentage has increased significantly. But again, like, let people make decisions for themselves. It's not impacting your life, and that's all that matters.